Hello, YouTube. I am greeting you from my car. I'm making a story time video after when I was 35. I found out on Ancestry DNA that my dad, who raised me, was not my blood parent. So what happened after that in the last 2 years? So after I found out on Ancestry DNA, it was 2018. Quite surprisingly, and and all the things that happened after that. So after me locating him and him calling me, we had a beautiful, wonderful relationship. And I'll talk about him in his own video. But today I want to talk about what happened after that, like in the last 2 years of all the things that transpired after. One, he passed away, and me having to deal with that grief and that trauma, and pretty much what to do. I know like what to do, how to handle it, stuff like that. And I pretty much felt like I was left alone with my grief. And I'm not trying to throw rocks and hide my hands. I'm just trying to say that sometimes when you in grief, you are left alone because everybody live their life. They have their own kids, their own wife, and and they just move on, and you're still stuck with the loss. And for me, it felt deeply like a deep loss, because it was like I went my whole life trying to find this man. I'm like I didn't know it, but my whole life it was like I was trying to find this love that was pure, this love that and he was it, because I felt like that God loved on me through him. So it was just such amazing, wonderful experience to meet him. And I'm extremely grateful, that I got to meet my dad, love my dad, have an extremely close relationship, and he knew who I was, and I knew exactly who he was. And so it's been 2 years now. As you can see, I look different since I've been through a lot of stuff, but I can't say that I have matured a lot. I can't say that I learned how to lean on Jesus all the way, like, because I have been left alone a lot. Yes, I have my mom. Yes, I have her husband, my parent who loves me. Yes, I have them, you know, but I was, I guess, mourning all the things that I thought would happen, but won't happen because he's not here anymore. Of me getting married, and him walking me down the aisle, me having children, and him being there. I had to mourn all those losses of things that is like won't happen because he's not here anymore, and he's in heaven now. you know So I learned that only God will be there no matter what. When I was in my bed weeping and crying, when I felt depression, when I felt suicidal, when I felt all this mess, because I was deeply wounded and deeply hurt, because it was like, bro, I want my whole life to find love like this, and now it's gone. It just took it. So I'm grateful because my mom had told me, she was like, God is love. And just because he's not here, it doesn't mean that God cannot express his love through whoever else on the earth. And I was just admit, because you're like, I don't want to hear that. I want the love to come through my father. Screw that. I don't want love through nothing else. But if you chop off the hand of love, then you're going to be in a dark, lonely place. So when I was ready, I started to say, you know what? He would not want me to be depressed. He would not want me to be talking about I ain't gonna love again, and I'm gonna be alone for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna be depressed. He always told me that he would love for me to end up happy. Not, he was like, if you just end up happy, then I'm gonna be the happiest dude in the world. Just you ending up happy. So in other words, to make a very, very long story short, yeah. So I end up just going through a whole lot of stuff. So like after he passed away, him and you know, I end up moving to North Carolina to spend time with my grandmother, his mom, which was a wonderful experience, and I'm glad that I went because I needed to feel like he was still here, and because she reminds me a lot of him. So I feel like moving to North Carolina to grieve was the right move. But as far as his wife and I, we haven't talked. We don't have a relationship or nothing. And so it became extremely like hurtful because it was like I thought that you loved me the same way that he loved me, and I had to allow that grief to be like, okay, things aren't working out the way that I thought they was gonna work out or how I wanted them to work out. I still wanted her to be in my life, but she chose not to be in my life, and that's cool because grief, pain, sorrow, anger, whatever it is, I can't read her mind, but I know that I at that time I wanted that relationship with my with her as well, but it didn't work out. So pretty much I am making this to say that in life a lot of things will happen. It's called life. A lot of things will happen. The grief, people passing away that you love, and just trauma, rejection, all this different stuff. But so what do you do when you're in that? And for me, 100%, it been the grace of God. It been God being in my life for real, not just me throwing that around, but God really for real, me like pouring out my heart to God and telling him that I was mad. I was angry, like I really thought like he was gonna live until 100 years old. I mean, we just found each other, and all this stuff. So I had to grieve the loss of what I thought was gonna happen, the loss of all these hopes and dreams, and that loss. It sucked, you know. But I have some relatives on his side, the Green side, who were trying to help me and would call me and and just let me pour out my heart, and I love them, but there are some who just left me hanging and trying to act like I'm not here on the earth, and that's okay too, because everything in life is not going to be perfect. So I learned that, Selena, it's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay when people don't want to talk to you, they don't want to be in your life, they don't want to be in a relationship. Sometimes on Ancestry DNA you find out a whole lot of truth, and it may not play out the way you hope. It may play out some parts good, some parts absolutely horrific. Some people might say, I don't want a relationship at all, don't talk to me. So you have to be prepared for whatever that's going to happen. Like, you have to be prepared for your parents to get mad, arguing, whatever, But in my case, my parents are still together. They love each other, and it didn't really change anything because my mom had me when she was a junior in high school, and she was already pregnant when and she didn't know that she was already pregnant. So she started to talk to her future husband. They were not married at the time, and when they had met, she was already pregnant. he didn't know, and my mom was young at the time, so all of that stuff, whatever. And then the judge said, "Hey, sir, I need you to do a blood test." And he chose not to do a blood test. So in some ways, he knew in his heart, he just didn't want to know the truth. So my mom's husband, he just in his heart always felt like that I'm his daughter, and he's right. That's the truth. I am his child. But I needed to know the truth because of the things in my journey that I was struggling with at that, you know, during that time. So I'm glad, and I learned a whole lot of stuff. I've been through a lot of stuff, but I can't say that this journey has matured me a lot. I can't say that I feel like God has strengthened me, He has made me strong, and I'm not just weak no more. You just blow on me, and I just says, you know. So I do feel like that God is healing me, and he's placing joy in my heart again, and I have the memory of Him, and I look like Him, and I act like Him. I have His personality and all that kind of stuff. So it's a wrap. He's always going to be here in my heart. He's always going to be a part of my life. So hopefully this isn't extremely long, but I hope you guys have a great holiday weekend, because next week is Thanksgiving. And so my story time is over, and enjoy those greens, macaroni and cheese dressing, sweet potato pie, all the stuff, and enjoy your loved ones. Hold them close. Don't hold grudges. Let it go, because once they're gone, they're gone. So love on your family. Stop holding grudges. Stop hating people, because I don't have no anger in my heart, no resentment. I'm just telling the truth and sharing my story, and I'm going to keep expressing my story because it is my story. And love you. Bye.